to another episode of Politically Street. I am your community ambassador, Mr. Robin J. Anderson. Let me give my disclaimer first. Politically Street is not a politically endorsing podcast. We're here for information purposes only. We're here to spotlight people doing astounding things in our community, like business leaders, business owners, community leaders, and elected officials. All right. So with that being said, I have Ms. You just told me how to pronounce your name. I'm calling Ms. Freeman. Ms.Monishae Freeman. First off, let everybody know where you're from, where you grew up.
I'm from Houston, Texas. I grew up here.
Okay, what side of town?
All over.
Okay.
I lived in Fontaine.
North side.
Yes. Acres Home.
Fofo. Fofo.
Missouri City. I've been everywhere.
Okay. All right. What high school did you attend?
I attended Umpqua High School and I graduated from MacArthur High School.
I went to Aldine, y'all, so we ain't gonna hold it against her, all right? So, Gotcha. So after high school, did you attend college? Did you go somewhere? Or?
I did Lone Star for a little while.
Okay. How was that experience for you?
It was good.
Okay, gotcha. So, for those who don't know Ms. Freeman, she has a well-known father that's out there in the community, has been out in the Zydeco world for a while. Unfortunately, I'm not really in that Zydeco realm, but you know.
Yes, welcome.
You want to tell everybody who your dad is?
Yes, my dad's J. Paul Jr. With the Zydeco New Breeds. Yes.
Gotcha. So
I am the oldest.
That you're the oldest. Gotcha. Okay. So what has Dad like imparted any kind of musical inclination on you? Do you have a desire to sing or anything? Or?
Oh yes.
Do you really?
That's really my passion.
Okay.
So I'm actually working on some music with him now.
Oh wow.
We're working on a song, so soon it'll be out. We're doing a few more tweaks, but
gotcha.
along with some other stuff. So I'm working on I'm trying to get my artistry out there. So.
Okay. Now I didn't know that. So I just met Ms. Freeman Saturday actually. We all just happened to be taking photos at this event today that he came on a hiatus over a year, and this has never been done like this one before. As far as like putting on a concert like that. Like it's been. Well, I take that back. The mayor did it, but he did it. It's on the outskirts, but in the middle of the community where it's open to everybody, and it was phenomenal. I had a good time. I don't know about you, but I had a good time.
Yeah,
so
it was nice. It was very hot.
It was very hot.
It was a nice event.
I agree. But you and I met. You have a company where you sell peanuts. Is it cashews? Is it pink pecans?
So there's different ones.
Okay.
Different ones. I have a mixed one, and then I have cashews by itself, pecans by itself. It just depends on whatever the customer wants. But yes, I do have I call it Mommy's Brittle bags.
Gotcha. All right. Okay.
That is my baby.
So how'd you come up with the idea to come up to sell?
So one night I just was in the kitchen and I put some stuff together and I gave my husband some and he was like, "Where are you going with the bag?" I just gave him a little bit. He said, "Where are you going with the bag?" And every time my husband doesn't, when he wants more, I know it must be something good.
Gotcha.
So,
you said, "Oh yes, where you going with that? Mean leave it here."
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was walking out the room with it. He was like, "Where are you going with it?" Bring it back.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Because a lot of our history has kind of been kept from us, but George Washington Carver coined peanut butter and things like that, us eating peanuts by itself. So you kind of like along that line of trend setting, what I mean? So it's not too many. I met a guy about maybe 7-8 years ago. He's invested in a peanut farm. I didn't know that those was actually a thing. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? So, but because you might want to look into that, that way you can kind of get the peanuts that cost. We'll talk off camera like that.
Yeah, I can make my own. You don't even have to go to Sam's anymore.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, it's that way. In business, it's all about, of course, profit, and how to, but anyway, but if you can figure out ways to get in with a manufacturer, work a deal out, that'd be best, best suit you and whatnot. So, I saw on Instagram that you're in a couple of stores now. Well, one store right now.
Yes. Yes, I'm in Green Earth. It's off of Shepherd by the new HEB. It's a 2-store HEB. But yes, Green Earth, they do great juices and all kinds of great stuff. Good healthy food.
Is it, so if it's on the HEB side, so it's going northbound, so is it before the HEB or is it after the HEB?
Well, when I come from my house, I have to take 610, go under 610, going towards that way, turn on 24th, make a left, and then you make another left, and it's like in the diagonal. So the HEB's here, it's here on the left side.
Gotcha, okay,
By
okay.
the Muscle Maker place.
The Heights, man, I don't be up there too much, but I kind of know, give me landmarks, I know where I am, you know what I mean? So, where do you see yourself going with this? And I mean, I know everybody have, ambition and things like that, but you don't see too many of us in this lane as far as with
Yeah, well, I just did, I have a few different ideas, but I'm open to everything. I sent in a submission for the HEB Texas Best.
Perfect.
And they just gave me a call back yesterday, and I got all excited, but they said they had over 1,000 submissions, and
wow.
we were, they didn't choose to go with us. But hey, the way I see it is, there's something better.
They still looked at it, right? That's all I don't think it matters, yeah.
It was nice to get a confirmation, like a confirmation that they got it, and everything, because it's been a while. It's been like 2 months since I've heard from them. So.
Oh wow.
But now I'm thinking about hiring people and putting them into the different markets so that it kind of ups the
your
word.
visuals. People can see you more. Gotcha.
They can spread more. More people can get it. They can get into more people's hands, into more people's mouths, and shoot off. So. Just playing with different ideas.
Gotcha. So how'd you get the entrepreneur spirit? Was it because of your dad? But really being a musician, you're really an entrepreneur because you got to get out there and sell your music, sell yourself and things like that. So how'd you get that entrepreneur bug?
Everybody in our family have that bug. We all have the itch to do something. Like my mom, she's started multiple businesses. My dad has his business, and any other businesses I might not be aware of. My grandfather has his own music recording business as well, but he does mostly gospel. Pretty much everybody. My mom's dad has a car lot, so he has his own business. So it's just in our family. And with the pandemic, I was able to, step back and really, because I've been working since I was 15. I was working a full-time job every day, always there. And I didn't know anything else. Of course, I always wanted to be free. I always had that vision, but I've never been able to step out. So I'm thankful for the pandemic because it allowed me to, and I'm thankful for my third child because I gave birth during the pandemic. So that was another reason for me to stay home and stay still, because I had a newborn to take care of. I had kids to make sure they didn't contract whatever was out there, and then myself. So yeah.
So I'm glad you mentioned 2020. So last year was a crazy year, So what did you take from that, bring it into now, into your what's going on now? How did you adjust and how do you maneuver now from 2020 into now? What did it teach you in the mindset?
I just know I don't want to go back.
Right.
I'm thankful for the experience, and I don't want to go back to the way things were. So every time and trust me, I have these moments where I want to go backwards, where I want to it's so hard, or I want to go back to working a full-time job, just don't have to worry about it no more. But for the things that I want, for the things that me and my husband want for our family, I have to keep moving.
Yeah.
We have to keep moving forward, because backwards didn't work. And I said that while I was there. It didn't, this is not going to get me into my house. This is not going to get me, with the legacy and leaving something for my kids and their kids and their kids. This is not going to do it. As much as I loved what I did, I was a pediatric dental assistant.
Oh wow, so that's why your teeth are so pretty. Okay.
No.
Oh okay, I was like, man, you got
when I started the dental field, I had 11 cavities, so hey, it is what it is. But yes, I was a pediatric dental assistant for a couple of years. I was there for 6 years. But yes, I'm happy to be on this side of the work field now, and ambitious to see what else is out there, where it goes.
What I took from 2020, I was already an entrepreneur anyway, coming into that, but what I'm seeing is that a lot of people, it birthed a lot of business owners, people who had ideas. And so now it's like, what I've noticed is that our people, we were at a point to where we were being too, how can I put this, like, and we're 13% of this country, right? We spend $1.5 trillion a year on consumer goods. But where our money is going, it's not being given to people like you, like me, and whoever else have businesses. So, but now, I think now, even with what happened with George Floyd, now people are saying, you know what, let's kind of start spending money amongst ourselves, because, once we spend that 1.5 trillion amongst us, that means that everybody who has a business become millionaires in the next 4 to 5 years. But we have to spend with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's why I commend you on what you're doing, just to even get out there and take a leap of faith. You know what I mean? And so, but let's go back to this singing, because I'm trying to figure out how you, which arena are you going to dive into? Is it going to be R&B? Is it going to be gospel, country? Like, what is that you're going to dive into?
Just me. It'll just be me.
Okay.
Whatever comes out, I channel my music through me, and whatever comes out, it comes out. If it comes out country, it comes out country. If it comes out R&B, it comes out. If it comes out gospel, it comes out gospel. Like, I'm an open, free spirit, so.
I got that from you when I met you, because I asked you about your necklace, and not so many people, are aware of the different type of, what's the word? I'm trying to tread lightly without offending anybody.
Just say it.
But because like I grew up traditionally, Baptist or whatnot. But when I got a little older, I started to question certain things. You know what I mean? And so my mom couldn't answer those questions, so I thought about becoming, Muslim. But then I started reading it like on metaphysics and things like that. And when I started reading about metaphysics, I started seeing these similarities between all the different religions have the same type of, they have a savior, that everything was all kind of meshed together. And I was like, well, okay, well, shucks, so.
Different interpretations.
Exactly, exactly.
Same
So, but I noticed that you were a free spirit. I got that vibe from you, but I didn't want to just assume, you know what I mean? So, how did you get the mindset, or what, were you always that way as a kid, or?
I mean, I've always been free spirited, but I was raised in the church as well. So my grandfather is a pastor. He's actually an apostle now over all of the Faith Temple Old Landmark churches. So there's a whole bunch of them all over the country. So he's over that. So it's been an awakening for sure. Especially during this pandemic, I went through an awakening. So that's kind of like breaking all the old habits, all the old beliefs, and really embracing those that allow us to be ourselves and not be so afraid of
the backlash of it and being ridiculed and
all of it.
Yes.
All of it. And it's so much of it. And the fact that it allows, I posted this yesterday about the prisons that we put our minds in. Like, we have to release, come out of the prisons, because it's not healthy. It's not, in this lifetime we have, you can't live it if you're in a prison, if you live in a prison mind. So I'm trying my best. I'm learning in every situation to embrace that, Like, even with this, with being, what do you call it? When I got the no from HEB, I had to tell myself, it's because it's something better.
It's something better. That's right. That's right.
It's because it's something better. I don't have to stand behind HEB. I don't have to stand with them. I can stand by myself and make it, and be just as great. So I'm leaning on that.
But actually, what you're doing is better, because you went to a local business and put your product in there. So if it works there, it can work in another smaller business. So you know what I mean. So HEB is cool, but I would rather the more local, because it's more of a, what's the word looking for? Like I guess a family-oriented type of feel, and you get more of a one-on-one instead of because don't mean nothing against HEB. I don't want to
I'm very grateful
right
that
there.
they're doing that. I'm very grateful.
But when you go in there, it doesn't feel so. I mean, don't get me wrong. Say it's a nice climate, but nothing to where you feel comfortable. Sometimes you're just there to shop and you leave, but you don't have that customer interaction and the people who work there. If that makes sense. They only talk to you when you get ready to check out. Okay, we got that open, we got that open, but nobody's speaking to you as they're stocking shelves and things like that. So
Yeah.
I think you that lane that you're going in, it might be a better one. I think, in my opinion, you know what I mean.
I'm
You know,
excited to see where it goes.
yeah, me too. But still, like I said, you say you don't know which way you're gonna go as far as singing, but I'm definitely interested to see where it's gonna go.
It's gonna go
so.
everywhere. Everywhere.
You
It's
know,
gonna appeal to the spirit, not to
Mhm.
any particular genre. It'll appeal to every spirit.
okay, I
I want
see
my
it.
music to hit your ear.
I see where you're going with that. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And when you want it to come from the heart, and some people who feel it's going, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I was gonna ask something before, but so how was the Politically Street podcast experience going for you as far as before you landed here today? Are you enjoying the experience, or have you learned anything, or how's it going for you?
Of course, I did. I listened to a couple of them, and I was like, wow, these look, I skipped to the middle, of course.
Of course,
But-
right?
when it gets juicy. But everybody that's been on, I can see they had a lot of good points.
Mhm.
They're doing a lot of good works.
Mhm.
Trying to build up the community, build up the blacks, build up, bring back the knowledge of who we are.
Mhm.
Someone said that we're not. I'm not sure if it was the right one. I hope it was, but our history didn't start with slavery. Our
Mhm.
history started with us being kings and queens.
Mhm.
I'm
Right,
like,
right.
that's amazing.
That
Like,
was-
we
that was-
teach
that
our
was-
kids. If I just go and tell my kid that today,
Mhm.
it'll change their whole perspective
mindset.
for their life.
I agree.
So-
agree.
The school system has failed us, but hey, that's another thing.
Well, you know what though? I take it like this. So the school system actually is doing what it's supposed to do. And I read somewhere, I think Malcolm X said, they say if you allowing the schools to teach your kids by themselves, then you fail, because they should be learning at home as well.
Right.
So they're just an extension of, learning in a sense, you know what I mean? So, but,
And
yeah.
I'm grateful for my husband because he's very, he has so much knowledge. Like, I've learned so much just from him.
Mhm.
So a lot of stuff that's up here is not just me, it's him.
Well, y'all are reflections of each other. That's how
Yeah,
that
he's my
saying goes.
check-in. When I'm growing, when I'm learning new stuff, I always check in. He's like, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And he can tell you more about it. He knows the history on everything. So
Where'd you guys meet?
we met at our first, way back in the day. So I've been with him for 10 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
We met at Ross.
I love Ross,
Yeah,
man.
that was his job and my job, and we met there. So.
Good deal. So now the rest is here. 10 years later, 3 kids later,
3 kids
marriage.
later, 10 years later,
Mhm.
marriage, all of that, and beyond.
Gotcha.
Beyond.
Okay. So one last question before we get up out of here. What would you advise a person who's wanting to start a business or just get out there and just say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do this shit? What would you advise them? What would you tell them to do?
One step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
One step at a time. Just think about what can you do today. What can you do today that'll help you get to the next step? That'll help build your business.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help grow it. If it's a post, if it's a phone call, if it's a flyer, whatever it might be,
Mhm.
just do it.
Gotcha. And I know a lot of people who that have businesses, but they put it down and decide to kind of go back to the work field. They see that working is not where it's supposed to be. It's like, to me, like right now, nobody can pay me enough money to work for them. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But I'd rather do what I'm doing now because this is where my heart is at. I want to be able to be a incubator of information for people. You know what I mean? So that way it can get out and go from there. So. Where can people find you on Instagram, Facebook, or you have a website you can go to, they can find your product?
Yes, so my product is www.mommiesbrittlebags.com. Instagram, mommies_brittle_bags, and then my personal page, Monishae, Ms.Monishae, Mrs._Monishae.
Gotcha.
I have a couple of other ones, but
Go ahead, get them out there, because people they gotta find you.
oh no, I don't want. Because you start stuff and some things you don't wanna keep doing. It just takes too much out of yourself. I want to
agree.
focus on
One thing at a time.
my music, Brittle Bags,
Mhm.
my kids, my marriage. That's it.
Okay, I tell you what, even though it's a few months away, we do a tree lighting in Acres Home every year.
Oh, what is it?
A tree lighting.
Tree lighting.
Yeah, so I want you to come out there. Hopefully you'll have music by then. So when you do, We're gonna have a stage like how they had it at the park out there.
Mhm.
So I need you out there to do a couple songs. So you gotta be ready. You know what I mean? So I want to say so.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. 'Cause with the tree lighting, what it does is first of all, this has never been done in the community as well. You know what I mean? And so what we do is we spotlight the schools that are there. We have kids that are 4 and 5 years old playing the violin. We have MC Williams come out, Anderson Academy, Carver Academy, and then we have it to where local artists come and they just perform a couple songs in here and there, just so people can kind of get the experience, know who they are. And after that, we do a countdown, light the tree up, and then we give out free toys, free food, and everybody go home. You know what I mean?
When is this?
It's going to be the first weekend in December.
Okay.
Yeah, first weekend. So I'm giving you a heads up now. So,
Awesome.
so just be ready. You know what I mean? So, so either way, I say I really appreciate you coming on out. I know it was kind of quick, but I say let me go ahead and share my platform. I believe in what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing because we need more business owners that look like us. We can start funneling money through it, whatnot. So,
yes. And I appreciate what you're doing as well.
don't do that
It
too.
is. It's needed,
Uh-huh.
and I'm very grateful.
I appreciate you. So with that being said, y'all, make sure and go to my Instagram page, Politically Street. I'm online now, buy some t-shirts, politicalstreet.org and whatnot. So I'm also on Facebook as well. So until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.
My name is Ms.Monishae Freeman. I am the owner of Mommy's Brittle Bags. Make sure you tune in to Politically Street. Y'all enjoy our podcast.